All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. John Talty coming up in 20 minutes. What defines success for first-year college football coaches in 2026? That might be very different at Florida, Auburn, than it is at LSU, per se. What does that look like at Penn State with Matt Campbell, with the majority of his cast coming over from Iowa State? John Talty will join us to discuss that. Phone's open for you, 800-239-9569, talking college football quarterback rankings, SEC quarterback rankings. Who would you take? Where would Byron Brown fall as far as ranking SEC quarterbacks going into this season? Where would, I guess, either Austin Mack, Keelan Russell fall for Alabama? Do you think you have a feel for who wins that job? Do you feel like that's a simple solution of, yes, it will be one or the other? Which direction would you go? Royal Payne tweeting in, a lot of unknowns, of course, but am I crazy to think that Austin Simmons might have a good year for the good run game to back him up? No, not crazy at all. Not crazy at all. I'm just interested to see what the offense actually is with Chip Lindsey, who we've seen be the head coach here at Troy. We've seen him be the OC at Auburn, the OC at Michigan, the OC at North Carolina. How different is the actual offense from what it was a season ago? Because I thought it was very quarterback friendly the last couple of years. Then you add Ahmad Hardy to it last year. Should have been a season that the quarterback position was just flat better at Missouri. Now, Bo Perbula, not healthy the entire season, and quarterback health in general has been a problem there, but he was 1941, 11 touchdowns, 9 picks. It just wasn't great. Wasn't great for Bo Perbula. Wasn't what we thought it was going to be. I thought he had a chance to come in there and maybe utilize quarterback run first and then build across that and become a little bit of a better passer, but wasn't exactly what we thought. But you got Ahmad Hardy in there. I think he makes any quarterback's job easier, better. Solid portion of that offensive line returning from Missouri. I think that makes any quarterback's life a little bit easier. And specifically with now Ahmad Hardy's experience for 2 consecutive seasons building on the stretch play, he knows that play, that part of the offense as well as any back in college football. And the offensive line knows it as well. So Drink's not going to let him get away from it to a certain extent. But it's still going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit different to see how that goes and to see how it's built. But Austin Simmons, with the quick release, some of the RPO stuff that he had already shown that he can excel in, I'd say the other part, too, that I'd say for Missouri's offense to just keep an eye on is going to be the tight end position. You got Brett Norfleet back, who I thought was one of the best tight ends in college football last year. Jordan Harris going to be back at that position as well. Now, trying to fill in for Connor Tolson at center, who, based on my understanding and my conversations, flat out made a lot of the calls, changed a lot of things at the line of scrimmage for them the last couple of years. That's a vet at an important position that's now gone. Now, Austin Simmons has been around college football. He's mature. He's intelligent. He gets it. He knows it, but still kind of a new system. Center, I think, going to be big for Missouri this year. Important as to who sort of becomes that guy. But they got some weapons. And going back to what we talked about with Indiana just a little bit, it won't be an offense where Austin Simmons has to go out there and win first. He doesn't have to go be the guy now. It can be run game, build off that, RPO, play action, find your matchups. I'm just interested, are they going to keep all the movement? Do they continue to move things the way that they did the last couple of years? Because what they had prior was elite. And the eye violations and finding mismatches and doing different things that way, that was very difficult to defend. But if you're taking wild cards on maybe biggest jumps, specifically in the court of public opinion of where quarterbacks are going to be ranked in the preseason and where they're going to be in the postseason this upcoming football year, Austin Simmons could easily be that guy. Austin Simmons could easily be somebody that you're looking at saying, man, how did we sleep on him when the numbers he puts up or the games that they win? Because that front seven on defense is going to have something to do with it too. That group was solid last year. Losing one of the biggest hitters at safety in the SEC going to be big as well. So there are other portions of maybe why Missouri wins 7 games or 10 games, but he's got all the ability. He stays healthy. He can go out there and help them win a lot of games. Just like game day men's health can help you win as far as feeling better on a daily basis. If you're lacking energy, lacking sleep, feeling on edge, Game Day Men's Health wants to help you today. Here's how they can do it. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com, sign up for the free consultation. doing so, you get the free PSA test, the free testosterone test. Then they're going to let you know where your baseline health is. They'll present the options, testosterone replacement, peptides, weight loss programs. They'll have all of those for you. And then present the different options, minimal upfront cost from the programs they offer, friendly staff, not going to try to pressure you into anything, holistic approach to health and wellness. And here's the best part about Game Day Men's Health. You walk in there right now, mention Mac and Cube, you save 10% on any service they offer, just like that. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Go sign up for that free consultation today and see what they can do for you. They've helped a lot of different Jocks listeners. GameDayMen'sHealth.com, now open in Trussville. So, yeah, I think when you're talking about Austin Simmons, an elite talent, a guy that has experience doing some of the things he's going to be asked to do in that offense, could easily be somebody that shoots up the ranks. We've seen a little bit of Austin Mack, Keelan Russell. What if Ryan Williams has a massive bounce back year and all of a sudden could help either one of those quarterbacks become great in that system, in that scheme? That could be one that takes a massive leap. I think the only one we really haven't mentioned at all, literally at all, would be Arkansas. I mean, we feel like we feel pretty good about Georgia. If Ole Miss has Trinidad Chambliss, we know what that's going to be. Art's going to take a step. Marcel Reed, if he's close to his ceiling, he can still be pretty good. Vandy's going to probably start a freshman. TBD. Nobody's pushing all their chips to the middle of the table on that one. Just not happening. John Mateer, can he calm down a little bit? Can they build some things around him to have a more consistent offense on a daily basis? Missouri, we just talked about. Tennessee, is he in or out? If you have Joey Aguilar, that offense can roll. Mm-hmm. And maybe not to the fullest extent of its design, but it can be really good. LSU, we know what it has the opportunity to be. We mentioned Kentucky, a lot of new, but a chance.
Yeah.
Florida, a lot of new, but a chance. Auburn has a chance to be super solid. Mississippi State, young, but been in the system, ton of talent. South Carolina has a chance to explode. Got to have some pieces around them. Arkansas, I think, is the one in the league that we would look at and say, don't know. Don't really know where this is going to go. Like, what do we look at from the Arkansas perspective? Now, I will say this. I love the offense. I know the offense I know how it's going to be built. You're going to get stretch play. You're going to get a lot of counter. You'll get play action. You'll get your shot plays in. But KJ Jackson going to be the guy? I mean, what do we look at to say what gives you a lot of confidence that all of a sudden this is going to work for Arkansas this year? They would be the one team, Damian, from a quarterback perspective that I think we look at and say, I can't present a lot of reasons for you that this thing is going to take a massive leap in 2026.
Right. And, I mean, what pieces are returning? Is Omega Blake coming back?
I believe so. No, he's not.
He's not?
Mm-mm. You get Jalen Brown back. You get C.J. Brown back. Courtney Crutchfield in. So you do now have Braylon Russell returning at running back and Maddox Lassiter at sort of fullback H, tight end. So you get a little bit of assistance there. You have a lot of your offensive line coming back, but I didn't think that group was, regardless of what PFF will tell you, because all the Arkansas fans after the Joe Moore Award was presented said, oh, look at our yards per carry. Well, your quarterback offered about 90% of that.
Right.
So let's not pretend like it was the blocking with your quarterback with legitimate track speed who gains 4 yards a stride when he gets outside the pocket was the reason that they were gobbling up rushing yards.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I legitimately just don't know about Arkansas.
Biggest question mark in the league heading into the season.
100%.
And
what is it supposed to look like? Because, again, their offense wasn't necessarily the issue last year. Like, they put up the numbers. They couldn't stop a soul defensively. So they had to put up those numbers.
They did. And I think, too, you look at consistency on offense. Now, I haven't seen the tape on Braden Fuller, a 6'3", 230-pound quarterback from?
Give me the conference.
Yale.
I can't give you the conference.
I'm going to say.
No, like I legit don't know the conference that Angelo State plays in.
Angelo State. Wouldn't have guessed that one.
They are the
Wildcats.
Anglicans.
Rams. Come on.
Yeah.
When you hear Angelo State, you don't think Rams?
Not at all.
I honestly haven't seen the tape. Don't know the conference. Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you.
Don't even know what they went last year. So they did go 6-5.
Could you tell me the level of football?
Tackle.
Okay. At least it's not flag. So okay, all right.
Braden Fuller last year was 85 of 156. He threw 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in 8 games played.
Okay.
Yay. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know if that's like if that's a depth add, if you really think that it's going to come in and try to make some sort of move. I don't know. You got multiple offensive linemen in through the portal. You got some Memphis kids coming in that could potentially help. Like you said, I think it's the biggest question mark in the league. You got Ty Lockwood from Boston College coming in at tight end. Maybe help some. We'll see. I don't know. There's some lower level football guys that are coming in that if they can be players, maybe you end up being a little bit better than we think. It is a hard team to have a feel on right now. Because also, like you mentioned, Damian, they were so weird last year. You had this dynamic quarterback who also, people kind of forget, was really inconsistent and made some really bad plays at times. I mean, he threw 11 picks last year. And he only threw 19 touchdowns. It felt like a lot more.
It did.
It felt like a lot more.
It did.
From Taylor Green. I mean, 60% on the season. That sounds good, but in that offense, it's not.
No.
It's not great. So, and he had 1, 2, 3, 4 games with multiple interceptions. So they came in bunches, that compounds it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You go back to the last 4 games of the season, his passing yards, 194, 165, 118, 59.
That's what Bobby P is the offensive coordinator too,
and that's starting your first 4 games of the year, 322, 239, 305, 325.
Yeah.
I mean, they took a nosedive last year and got against better defenses and just could not find their way. Plain and simple. Didn't play well against Auburn's defense, didn't play well against LSU's defense, didn't play well against Texas defense, didn't play well against Missouri defense. Just end of story. That's what it was.
That was a rough stretch.
It's exactly what it was. What would the expectation, we say we don't know about that team, what does that mean for the expectation of Ryan Silverfield year 1? What is success for him? Bowl game? Over 500? I think if he's over 500, if he's over 500, it's a good year.
100%.
You have to be excited about that. You have to feel good about it. If he goes to a bowl game and you're an Arkansas fan, you got to be sitting there saying, yeah, this guy might be able to get us going in the right direction.
And that's the thing with Arkansas too, because it's not like they're that far removed from legitimate success as far as 8, 9, 10 win seasons.
It's been a roller coaster, man.
Yeah.
I mean, John L. Smith took over and went 4-8. Bielema 3-9, 7-6, 8-5, 7-6, 4-8. Should have never fired him. Chad Morris comes in and goes 2-10, back-to-back seasons, doesn't win an SEC game, 0-16. Pittman goes 3-7, 9-4, 7-6, 4-8, 7-6, 2-10, and then he's out. So even the coaches like Pittman and Bielema, who we saw have some success, that was even up and down.
Yeah.
I mean, that even looked like a Richter scale reading. Just like, whoa, big dips, bad. Okay, great. No. You haven't been consistent since Petrino from 2009 to 2011, honestly.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to expect. I don't know what it's going to look like. I have no way to get a good feel. That's one that I really hope they have like a traditional spring game. Like, let me see a little bit of what you have, a little bit of how it's going to look, a little bit of who's going to be lining up where and what they might be capable of doing. Because some of the new pieces, I need to know how they're going to fit in. I need to know how many of these guys are going to really lean on. Who's going to start? Who's getting legitimate reps? Who's going to be a legitimate player for you? Like, I need to start learning some of those things if I'm going to have any idea of what that's going to look like for Arkansas. I don't think there's anybody out there that's saying, no, he's got to win 8 or 9. You can't be in that camp.
Just survive.
You can't be living there.
And the same boat with Kentucky, because we're so used to the way Mark Stoops ran it that this year's Kentucky team is going to look a lot different. So it's like you said, what is success for Kentucky? I think for them it's very similar to Arkansas. If you get to 500, you're good. And then anything you get after that, like you're trending in the right direction.
Let me just read this to you quickly. I had kind of forgotten about this. Arkansas goes North Alabama at Utah, Georgia, Tulsa at A&M, Tennessee at Vandy, Missouri at Auburn, South Carolina at Texas, LSU. 6 might be immaculate.
Coach of the year.
Immaculate if you get there.
They got Utah
on the road, week 2.
Ooh.
Well, they did that to themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, the other one's all right. You can blame Sankey on, but this one, like, you chose this.
Wow.
You know, Kentucky's an interesting one also, because the style is going to be so different. The blueprint is going to be so different. The attitude, demeanor, we don't really know, but it's going to be different. It's not going to be what Stoops wanted it to be or how he built it. But you go get Kenny Minchie, and he's a capable quarterback. You add a lot of weapons around him.
A ton.
That some have been good, some have been like Nick Anderson when he's healthy has been good.
Yeah.
Nick Anderson has not been healthy a lot of his career. Lance Hurd, when he wants to play football, can be really good.
That was Tennessee offensive lineman, wasn't it?
And LSU.
Sure was.
So that's what I'm saying. Like he did a great job of CJ Baxter when he's been healthy at Texas. He was really good.
It can go.
But my main concern here, and I understand there sometimes you got to make it work and you just got to go. Like you got to put your foot on the gas. We've moved into this, it feels like maybe a new era with what Indiana's doing of formulating a team as opposed to collecting talent. Like, let's be real with ourselves here. Hugh Freeze collected talent.
100%.
It didn't turn into a good team. Certain people are out there trying to create a good team. I don't think you were in a position to go out there and try to create a good team. Will Stein, year 1, when he got the job, he had to go collect some talent. Then you'll get him in the facility and try to figure it out there. But I would be a little bit concerned about multiple guys who have been in multiple places and some of the behavioral things we've heard about some of the guys. If he can mold that, they will surprise some people. But that feels like a big ask in today's college football.
Right.
It just doesn't feel like that usually goes well. We don't hear of a lot of 3rd, 4th, 5th chance guys, multiple going into a team being like, oh, yeah, the locker room is just right. They've got that repaired. Now, ability, they went and got ability. I'll tell you that. They went and got some guys that can play. And that may be a great starting point if he can sort of, I don't know if that's more of the Lane Kiffin approach of like, hey, dude, this is what I need from you. I'm going to leave you alone, but I expect you to do this. Figure it out. Okay, cool. I don't care what you do in your time, but in my time, I need you to come do this. And this is how it's got to go. And if they get that, okay, here we go. Might work. But that's schedule 2. Youngstown, Bama at home, at A&M, South Alabama, at South Carolina, LSU, at Oklahoma, Vandy, week off, at Tennessee, Florida, at Missouri, Louisville. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we will take a break. John Talty on some of the coaches that we just mentioned. What defines success for them in year 1? We'll have that conversation next right here on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. It is 8:22, Thursday, February 12th, right here on Jocks. Go to the Higginbotham hotline. Welcome in John Talty. Interesting write-up on coaching success for year one. And that can vary a lot in different places. You look at the situations in which some of these coaches were jammed in. You look at the programs they're taking over and what the expectation is. And then how heavy the lift is to actually get a team that's going to be competitive in the leagues that they're in. John, let's start with Lane Kiffin. Is it college football playoff or bust, in your opinion, for the LSU faithful for Lane Kiffin year one in Baton Rouge?
I think it is, Cole. And I think it is for a few reasons. One, of course, just the fact that, Lane left a playoff team a few months ago at Ole Miss to go to LSU. I mean, that sets the bar, I think, pretty high from the beginning. But just what they've invested in this roster, from everything I've been told from different industry sources, this is a $40+ million roster. They've added people like Sam Leavitt, the Arizona State quarterback, Jordan Seaton. They went after multiple Ole Miss players and got a few at the end before the portal closed. I mean, this is a roster that has some real talent to it, and they've spent up a lot on their staff. Charlie Weiss Jr. is one of the highest paid assistant coaches in America. So I think that sets the bar pretty high from the beginning, that they expect to, compete from the get-go. And, their schedule is not the easiest, so it's not going to be easy to accomplish that. But I do think for year one, it's playoffs. And if they can't get that, then, you'll start to see some grumbling the way we've seen in the past with Brian Kelly and others who couldn't meet that fan base's expectations.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it when you look at just kind of what they feel like they can do based on the talent on the roster, keeping Blake Baker. There are a lot of things that point to them being in the college football playoff. What's the biggest variable there for you? Lane Kiffin, say, in the playoffs year one. Lane Kiffin, say, disappointing season based on expectations year one. What's the one thing you look at to say, I think this sort of sways it for whether or not he gets there or doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple things. I think one, and this is maybe a little bit overplayed, but I do think it's interesting. It's just how does Lane handle just all of the pressure and attention that he's going to be under all season long? Not that that's necessarily unique to Lane. I think he has kind of cultivated that attention, but you really have to go all the way back to the USC days for him to be under this level. So I think the obvious one for me is you point to that Ole Miss game on September 19th. I think that has a chance to kind of, really either set you off to the season, off to the races, or if you go to Ole Miss, you lose, it's going to be an insane environment. Does that kind of put your season off ramp a little bit? So I think that's a kind of an early marker to, what can this team accomplish? But, Sam Leavitt's going to go a long way. We've seen that with other programs. Like when you make a massive financial bet on a transfer QB, you have to get it right. Lane went all out to get him. So I think that's going to be a big part of it too, is can he meet the expectations after, an injury-plagued year where didn't quite, I think, level up the way we thought he was going to heading into 2025.
John Talty of CBS Sports covers college football nationally with us on the Higginbotham hotline. Let's go here in state, a state in which you've covered college football closely for a long time. Alex Golesh, year one. What spells success for you, for him, first year on the Plains?
Yeah, so I put a number that felt a little low when I wrote it, but then when I kind of looked at what Auburn's been, for the last 6-7 years, it felt like, what maybe should be a fair starting point. So I put 7 games. Now I did write as well. I think that the ceiling is higher than that. I like, what they've done with, both adding talent, bringing guys from South Florida, Byron Brown, of course, being kind of the headliner to that. I think the ceiling could be 9 wins, but I think if you can get to 7 wins, which they haven't done since 2019, getting to a bowl game, again, that feels like a low bar, but when you think about whether it was, Hugh Freeze, Brian Harsin, they just haven't achieved that. So I think if you can get to 7 or more, you at least get the program back on track. You start raising the expectations and showing, all right, let's get some momentum back here and just kind of get back on track after what's been kind of a walk through the wilderness since Gus left back in 2019.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. We were actually just talking Kentucky a moment ago for Will Stein, and everything is going to be so different from just the mindset, the attitude, the demeanor, the blueprint, the style. But he went and collected some talent that looks like it could really help him. My concern, John, is that you went and got some guys that, from what I have heard about behaviorally, and you look at the different places that they've been and how they've left, it's a little concerning that those kind of guys all coming together is just going to work. That to me makes me wonder, all right, is that all just going to come together right away? I don't feel like it is. But I also think, based on the guy that you just let go and what he accomplished in his career, are the expectations a little bit out of whack? What do you see for Kentucky as success year one under Will Stein?
I think those are all really fair concerns. I also think their schedule is really tough. So I think that all adds up to being potentially, a challenging first year. But to your point, Cole, I think that it's not like those fans are going to be happy winning 5 games. Like, I think everywhere in the SEC, the expectation is bowl game or better. And, I think for Will, that's, probably in the 6-7 win mark, maybe 7, just kind of given what they're moving on from Mark Stoops, all the investment that they've made. I mean, they went out and added multiple, highly regarded, expensive guys. And, in order to do that, you've got to get buy-in from important people. And with that comes raised expectations. But I think that you make a really smart point. And I think sometimes fans forget this, is that, and even sometimes I forget it a little bit, that sometimes I think we're people think that it's just playing fantasy football, where it's like, let's just add as many talented guys as we can and it'll all be good, without factoring in, how do those pieces fit together? What is the team chemistry going to be like? What is that team going to look like when they get punched in the face for the first time and they lose a game that they shouldn't? And we've seen teams crumble in the last, few years that were just kind of filled with mercenaries who maybe didn't kind of get brought up in a culture. So I like what Will Stein did. I think he was, certainly a really talented offensive coordinator. I think he's done a lot of the right things. I like that they're taking a swing. I really do. But there is some of that implosion potential just with some of the people that they've taken. And if things don't go well early, and that schedule, again, is challenging, you could see things kind of going off the rails.
That fantasy football adage, John, is perfect for what we're talking about with college football, and how people look at the portal and say, oh, he had 800 receiving yards last year. All of a sudden, he makes our team X amount better. There's just so much more that goes into it than that, of actually helping a team succeed, be better, get better. What do you look at with Kyle Whittingham? And this one's interesting because of the other factors that are involved. His success as a head coach in big-time college football, the fact that he walked away, now going to be back, the turmoil that the school he's currently at has been through the last couple of years, and maybe just the expectation that's there with Michigan football. There's so much unknown with a massively known commodity coming in. What does define success year one for Witt at Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, I think, one, if you beat Ohio State, it kind of makes everything you did before that either even better or cleans it up a bit. So that's one. I do think the expectation is to be in the playoff hunt year one, which is one of the higher level of expectations. I think Matt Campbell, Lane Kiffin, those guys, there's a few that I think are in that playoff kind of realm where that's the general expectation of that program. Now, I think something's going in his favor to meet that, some that go against him. The number one going against him is just that the schedule is brutal. And that's, to get to that probably, 10 or so win mark, at least 9 wins, is going to be challenging given the teams that they have on the schedule. But the positive is that you look at kind of what a mess we now know it's been internally at Michigan, and they were still in the playoff hunt pretty late in the season last year. I don't think that they came close to maximizing what they could have done under Sharon Moore for reasons we don't need to talk about. But I think a guy like Kyle Whittingham, who is going to come in with discipline, organization, and I think he's fired up. Just kind of the rumblings you hear around the industry about him getting nudged out a bit at Utah, coming to Michigan. Like, I think he's going to want to prove himself. And I've long believed he's one of the more nationally underrated coaches, in part just because I don't think Utah gets as much national attention as maybe some other programs do. So I think that the potential's there. There's clearly some talent. I liked a lot of what he did from a staffing standpoint. I think both OC and DC hires were very, very strong and put them in a good position to be competitive right off the bat. And so I think that, you're Michigan, you want a guy who's going to bring stability. And you also know that the runway is maybe not going to be the longest. I mean, he already, quote unquote, retired and then came back. So, he's probably not going to be there 20 years. So can you capitalize in this maybe 3 or 5 year window right off the bat? So I do think the expectations are pretty high, and Michigan has made investments to be competitive right off the bat.
All right, so a little bit more difficult one here. John Talty of CBS Sports joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. His article of defining first-year success for head coaches year one. What would that look like? We mentioned this one before we had you on. I honestly don't even really know where to go or what to say about this one, but Ryan Silverfield at Arkansas. The roster is such a question mark. How long it took to make the hire doesn't help, didn't help. Some guys coming from Memphis, which I think gives him a little continuity, maybe some assistance there, but there's key positions that we don't even know who the guys are going to be yet. Where do you even begin to define what would look like a good, successful, how about acceptable season for Arkansas fans year one?
Yeah, when I was looking at their schedule and kind of factoring in all the things you just talked about, in my head, it's like, man, I think it's the 5 wins. That's a pretty good year. But then I thought, you know what, like, the fans did not love this hire really from the get-go. Now, I think he's done some of the right things, and, I wouldn't say that I know Ryan super well, but know him a little bit. I think he's, a nice guy. I think he's someone who can win people over, and I think he's trying to do that and will continue to try to do that in the build-up to the season. But, I think you almost have to do even more when fans are skeptical of the hire from the beginning. So I think the baseline is bowl game, and again, outside of the playoff guys where, of course, it's very challenging to do that when there's only 12 teams, like, he might have the hardest expectations to hit just given the talent coming back, the schedule that they have, where that program's been in recent years. Like, that's going to be an extremely challenging, I think, mark to hit. But like I was saying earlier, Cole, like, I just don't think any SC fan base, even the most rational, reasonable ones, are happy with anything less than a bowl game. Like, I just think that's the baseline. Now, are they going to freak out if he wins 5 games and it looks like things are moving in the right direction? Probably not. But I do think that fan base wants to see things moving in a positive direction. And I think they're skeptical of the hire. And so there's going to be a bit of like, prove it to us in year one, which raises the stakes for him.
So when you look at Matt Campbell at Penn State, John, how difficult was it? How much easier was it based on how much of that Iowa State roster was coming with him?
I think it's great for Penn State and terrible for Iowa State. I think Jimmy Rogers got dealt a real tough hand with what Matt did, and no fault to Matt. I mean, you take who you have, and obviously Alex Golish did that, and Eric Morris has done that from North Texas to Oklahoma State. It's kind of the new trend in some ways, but I think it definitely gives them a good foundation. Clearly, Rocco Becht is a big piece of that, their quarterback. But there was a time, Cole, where that search was kind of a disaster. James Franklin was just racking things up at Virginia Tech, and you wonder, like, man, Penn State might be awful next year. There's just seems like no one coming back. They're not recruiting anybody. But I think Matt did a good job closing, and I think, again, bringing over a lot of key pieces from Iowa State to Penn State certainly helps. I think Matt did an incredible job at Iowa State building that program up to what it was, and now I think we'll see is, does it translate? Does he level up in a way that he hadn't at Iowa State? And I think what makes that hire so fascinating to me is that, I've talked to people around Matt Campbell over the years, and especially over the last year or so, some of those people have thought, he might be more interested in the NFL at this point, where he's got a good thing going at Iowa State. There's some challenges that come with it. They were not great at NIL, but with that, there wasn't a lot of extra pressure. Like, everyone was happy with what he was doing. He didn't have this championship or bust expectations, didn't have to manage crazy egos because they're spending 35 million on a roster. Like a lot of the things that coaches elsewhere were dealing with, like he didn't have to deal with at Iowa State. Well, now he's going to have to deal with that at Penn State. How does he handle that? Does he have the right people around him to deal with it? Like I think Matt's an incredible coach, but that's going to be an interesting factor to the success that they have. And I think if you look at the roster, to me, it's not a playoff roster right now. But I think the way that they got rid of James Franklin, the way they had that elongated search that kind of went around and around, like I do think the expectations are pretty high for Matt for year one.
Yeah, absolutely. John, great stuff, man. Thanks for hopping on with us. Appreciate it. Great article up now at cbssports.com. We'll have you back soon.
Appreciate it, Cole. Thanks.
There you go. John Talty of CBS Sports joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline discussing first-year success for college football coaches. Year one. John Summerall, he has 8 or more wins at Florida. So one that he feels like the expectation should be maybe even more so what the reality has been in games for the last couple of years. Eric Morse, 7 wins at Oak State. Lane Kiffin, playoff at LSU. Colin Klein, top half of the Big 12. Alex Goles, 7 wins at Auburn. Pete Golding, one I wanted to get to with John, but wasn't really sure. He went 9 wins and or a win against LSU. As we know, there are certain games for certain reasons, certain coaches that you get that one, not a lot else really matters. Kind of like Kyle Whittingham, as you heard him mention, playoff win and or win against Ohio State. You win that game, a lot of other things can be forgiven in year one. We'll discuss more on college football coaches, their potential success, what might equal that a little bit later in the show. But when we come back, there are certain things in sports that we grew up accustomed to thinking were great, that we were always dialed into and we always liked. Some of those things have become less appealing. Some of those less appealing events in sports will be airing this weekend. Some other people who cover sports have certain ideas for those things and how they should change that they think could make it successful. One, we will react to that you do not want to miss next right here on Jocks. Welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. It is 8:43 right here on Jocks. JocksFM.com. App is in your app store, iPhone, Android. You can download that for free. Listen on the go. Watch live on YouTube. Search Jocks945. NBA All-Star Weekend. Some of you may be surprised to know that that is this weekend. May not even know. Didn't even have an idea that that was coming up. Are we excited for Team Stars versus the World? Team Stripes versus TBD? Do we even know what that means?
No.
Slam dunk contest, excited? Is Mac McClung in it this year?
I would only hope, but probably not.
You say you would hope.
I don't think so.
Why would you hope?
I mean, we got a multiple-time winner in there. Dude just basically coming off the street. He could be in college because he plays in the G League, and he's out here winning the NBA dunk contest. Like, that's pretty stellar.
Are we excited for the Ruffles NBA All-Star Celebrity Game?
For one
Do
reason.
we need to see Drewski putting up threes?
And one reason only. White chocolate's in it. Jason Williams is playing.
As a celebrity or?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's.
There are older former NBA players in there too.
Well, then
But when I saw that, I was like,
now they're just trying to make the celebrities look bad.
okay, even better.
The
Drewski
rising stars: Team Vince, Team T-Mac, Team Mello, Team Austin.
Or
Is
four
that Steve?
on a 4 and a court? That feels a little crowded.
I was asking which team do you like the most?
Oh,
I don't know who's on what.
I'll just go with T-Mac just
I'd go Vince
because he's T-Mac.
because he's Vince.
I'll take Steve Austin's team. I feel
Steve Austin?
like, what other Austin would it be? Mac?
Franchise?
I don't know.
Spurrier?
Not sure. Team Austin.
Reeves?
You tell me.
Rivers?
Yeah, probably. Hope. like Stone Cold's team may look a
Actually, that might be
different.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, I think it'd be.
Roman Reigns.
Okay, your 3-point contest. Devin Booker, Con Knipple, Damian Lillard, Tyrese Maxey, Norman Powell, Bobby Portis, Jamal Murray,
Bobby Portis isn't a 3-point shooter.
Donovan Mitchell.
I'd probably
Does that get the juices flowing?
If I had to pick a winner, it'd be between Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, and Donovan Mitchell.
Now, if you were wondering if the slam dunk contest is going to re-energize you, this year you have Carter Bryant of the
No, he
NBA?
San Antonio Spurs.
He actually is in the NBA. Spurs is correct. Jackson Hayes of the
Lakers.
Yeah.
Kashad Johnson of the
Pistons?
no
Hornets.
no
I have no idea.
Heat
The Heat.
and Jace Richardson.
That's Jason Richardson's son. I don't know who he plays for.
Yeah, that I knew. Made
Well,
me
in
feel
that
old,
case,
Yeah, he got a clear winner.
we're in.
Genetics takes over.
Glenn Opper tweets in, impossible to care less about anything in NBA. What if, I ask you, what if a certain man's idea became reality? Take a listen to this and tell me, would you be in? Would you be out?
How would you fix the game on Sunday?
Well,
is it fixable? Because I don't think it is.
It's fixable in 4 years if your guy Con Knipple continues on this trajectory. And we just have to say, you know what? PC headlines be damned.
I know where you're going.
White guys versus black guys. Luka, Joker, Flag, Reeves, Knipple against Wimby, whomever. And I'm telling you right now, guys would play hard. Like that, there would be a real edge to
It
the
certainly
game.
would get it would get a lot of talking points going
Get a
that
lot
week.
of attention, and we are getting close to a place where it'd be like, oh, that'd be a good game. Like there hasn't been a moment in the NBA in the last 50 years where if that ended up just by chance being the game, it would be you could see either team winning. But right now, like
Unbelievable.
Cooper Flag and Con Knipple and Austin Reeves
Peyton
doing a
Pritchard's
lot
out
of work.
there. Yeah.
Right. But they also get all the Eastern Europeans. Like you get Luka, you get Joker, you have real talent That's something. In the meantime, I don't know
pretty
what
good.
the hell you do.
I like how he says all, and then the 3 times he mentioned him, he only mentioned 2.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's
Not that
Slim
Luka and
pickings.
Jokic aren't great, but like that's you get all those guys, and he names 2 of them.
The same 2 twice.
yeah, it's slim pickings.
Yeah.
Are we in?
I'd watch.
You're gonna watch anyway.
Yeah.
I think you've made that clear.
Yeah,
I think that'd be more appealing. Well, let me take that back. I think that would be rather appealing. I think Team USA versus the world feels a little more evenly matched.
yeah.
Does it though?
Yeah, you don't realize how many are.
Is Canada the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like this could go really poorly
Oh,
for Team
It
USA.
right.
it
That's,
is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Then why is that intriguing? Which would be a better matchup? Like which would be more competitive? And
More
by the way, I
competitive?
disagree with him that they would play hard.
Oh,
No,
yeah, they would.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
still an exhibition game.
Team White would be out of gas. Like they only got about 7. Like depth is the problem.
Eh,
A lot of coaches.
Yeah, but they only play 7 anyway, though. That's how the NBA is.
Yeah.
They're playing 7 and 8.
You got to
Let's
shorten
be
the
honest.
quarters.
If the culture loses,
Yeah, it's more
they have,
reflection.
they have to fold the NBA.
Yeah. Star power would be dominated by one side.
maybe it could awaken some of these sleeping giants like Zion and some others that we've been waiting to
Because if they were to lose,
crank it up.
this would be like when the Americans lost in 1998. They're like, oh, okay, like we got to get the dream team now. And you thought this was the dream team.
It'd be tough.
You got Chet Holmgren who'd be in there. He wasn't mentioned.
You're correct. Yeah.
Correct.
He could help.
A healthy Kristaps Porzingis,
When was the last time we saw that?
like 2018.
Sure. We're getting Mark Price?
Like Philip Rivers can come back.
Right.
Yeah, no.
And Kristaps, who
See,
just got
here's-
traded for, by the way. So
Here's the thing, though. If you're there's some biracial guys in the league.
There are
There's
a
kind
few
of a-
that you wonder where they're going to fall.
Right.
do you get dual citizenship or?
Halftime you
This-
switch
this,
over. After half, you got to switch.
I'm doing this to honor my mama.
Right. This for Pops right here. Listen, I mean, Joker, Luka, Austin Reeves.
I'm
For sure.
actually no. The starting 5, maybe 6, 7, I think are good, and because of the style of play of a lot of the guys on that team, I still think it becomes a very difficult matchup.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you could also say, who's guarding SGA? Who's guarding LeBron? Still guarding LeBron, like still.
Right. Ain't nobody guarding Wemby. Ain't nobody guarding Giannis.
I think you could cause some problems.
Chet
for Wemby.
might.
Nah, he's bullying Chet.
I don't think he's going to have his way in the post against Jokic.
They'll go tit for tat. They'll both have 40.
No, so it's an offset. Like,
But Anthony Edwards.
Steph's probably going to get his,
Anthony Edwards.
but he's not playing any defense.
No. It'll be spectacular.
So, not a lot of sharing the basketball, I don't feel like.
Not really.
No, assist will be down. Assist will be down.
I don't know
Well,
about down. It'd
Whoever passes it to
still be
Steph.
unavailable.
Whoever passes it to Steph, you got an assist.
Maybe on one side.
I think, too. It's like, how many problem guys you putting on this team? Like, you putting James Harden on this team? You putting Durant on this team?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
This is not an Olympic setting, so we don't know if Durant's just going to be good. Olympic setting is great.
Oh, absolutely.
Draymond
but-
Green. We got Draymond.
For how long?
We just need him for a quarter.
That's probably all you're going to get him.
We need a quarter.
Just intimidate one or two of them.
Yeah.
What's the line on this game?
Ooh.
If they're playing hard, if they're actually playing. Because I still don't think unless you're putting a giant bag of money in front
Right.
of some of these guys that they really care.
Maybe
I think our team brother.
coach on the field plus 20.5.
Deuce May tweets in, the YT guys would be real top heavy. But
I know it.
no, it's the emoji,
Fist.
but it's a white fist.
Oh.
Brothers would definitely pull it out. 2 emoji laughing faces. I'm really confused.
Right.
One of the most inclusive tweets we've ever had in the show.
And we can't differentiate which
I
one
don't
is
know
which side
which
of
direction you're going.
It's the halftime. It's the halftime rule.
Pete Moss at halftime swapping over to honor my mama.
That's what I'm saying. It's,
He said he's laughing at time.
that's
I don't know where Paulo is.
that
You
is
just mentioned Steph. Like, I
Devin
mean,
Booker.
Steph, Devin Booker, and then are they?
That'd be a game changer if he does go on the other side.
like Jamal Murray? Are they giving you more for one team or the other? Like Jamal Murray could come out and go 0 for 12 from 3 for one side or the other.
And then
Like he could hate his teammates on one side and really like his teammates on the other side. I'll show him.
pick me on this side, huh?
I'm just,
that is a
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like he may get over there with Jokic and be like, "That's my guy. I can't let him.
Right.
I'm not letting him lose."
Muscle memory starts taking
Yeah.
over.
My ginger cuz.
He gets over there and Draymond starts chirping and he's like, "Watch this, air ball, air ball."
Right.
Draymond tries to kick one out and he just misses. He just lets it go. Like this bad pass. Couldn't get to it. Sorry.
It'd be tough.
You let us know. Back with more next. So an interesting conversation during the break, continuing where this may go. I feel like maybe Ancestry.com might have to decide some of these as far as where they're going to spend the majority of their minutes in said game. I mean, even Wemby, we don't know. Trae Young, I'm just trying to decide where the rosters are going to be. I don't know exactly how that would go, where that would go, but it sounds like maybe even the fact that we've got people tweeting in and being a part of this conversation, maybe Nick Wright is correct here.
He may be on to something.
It would get people tuned in and
Somebody-
people would watch.
Somebody gave the game a title. Brothers versus others.
Deuce May is attempting to correct, and I'm not going to read it on air. E. Robinson does appreciate that you just named him Team White. I think we should go to break. Back with more after this.